Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Scott Silverian here from Director of Industry Relations at SEO Interactive. Sorry, we're having too much fun off camera. Welcome everybody that is here, everybody that is logging in. We appreciate you coming. As usual, we're going to hang out for a couple of minutes, let everybody get those contracts signed before they hop into this webinar and learn how to get more business. While we're waiting, we were just talking about the weather here, and winter is knocking on our door here in Northern Colorado. It was 22 degrees yesterday morning. So, which obviously is Colorado, so we're used to it. But why don't you in the chat make sure so we can make sure that everything is working and you guys can hear us? Why don't you put where you're from and what the temperature was this morning? How about that one? It did get up to 36 this morning, so that was an improvement. Still pretty freaking cold out, especially with the sun coming up so late. But Arizona and 80 degrees. Yeah, Kristen.
Yeah, I hear
Nice.
you, Arizona. I'm in Southwest Florida. We're pushing 90 today.
Oof. Yikes. I don't think we're going to get out of the 50s today. Maybe the 60s. Maybe the 60s. But I think we're done with any type of fall or warm weather. All right, we got Spokane at 35. All right, my people up in the Pacific Northwest are feeling my pain. Scottsdale 83, 59 in Charleston. Yeah, yeah. All right, 40s. Vegas, 54 this morning, 76. That's nice. I think 76 is a good temperature.
I feel like that's cold for Vegas.
Yeah, for Vegas, it sounds a little bit chilly, but I think in general. Oh man, sorry, Rick, I can't do those calculations. 5 degrees Celsius and 41 degrees Fahrenheit. Sounds pretty damn cold though. And it's British Columbia, so I'm guessing that's on the colder side. Awesome. This is great. I appreciate everybody joining in. We've got a lot of information to share with you today, so we're going to give it like maybe another minute, and then I'll introduce our guest today, and we're going to get right into it. So, because we had a ton of people sign up, so we're really excited about this new information that Kira is here to share with us. Um, JC always has to say how much he loves Vancouver, so that's pretty funny. Okay. You know what? Let's get rolling. People are going to keep coming in. They're going to keep falling in, which is fine. We appreciate everybody being on time. We want to use your time effectively and efficiently and respect it. I've got a super special guest with us today that's going to help you get more business and help you get found first online. And her name is Kira Flynn. She's with Visible Agent. Kira, I'm going to let you sort of kick it off. Let us know what you do. Let us know what your company offers, and give us the goods.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here. As Scott said, my name is Kiera Flynn. I'm the founder of Visible Agent. We have to date helped hundreds of agents across North America become the #1 top producing realtors in their local markets simply by getting found online. And a little bit of a fun fact, I actually used to be a real estate agent too. So I've walked your shoes, I speak your language. I know the things that you're going through. I know it could feel like a struggle bus at times trying to balance all the things marketing and what's the right thing and the right place to be at. And we're going to talk about just really truly how to position yourself online and how many opportunities are at your fingertips that most of you may not be taking advantage of. Now, I explained to Scott beforehand, I love to keep these interactive. I don't want it to be another webinar where you're just writing a bunch of notes and then, quite frankly, you turn the paper of your notepad and forget to go back to them ever again. So I'm going to give you some golden nuggets today, but I want it interactive. So feel free to ask questions. I'm happy to digress and dig deep so you really feel like you're walking away with not just knowledge, but something, at least something that you're able to execute that can help you turn around the rest of 2025 and set you up for success for 2026, which sounds really crazy to say 2026, but also came out really naturally. But we, Visible Agent, we're actually preferred marketing partners to some of the nation's biggest real estate brokerages and even coaching companies out there. So again, not only was I a real estate agent, but everyone on my team has experience. So we really speak your language and then some, right? We talk the SEO, search engine optimization, and then, of course, the buzzword of the year, right? You know, you have like Time Magazine where they're like person of the year. I'm going to say buzzword of the year is GEO with our AI, with who's the better one, Chat GPT, Perplexity, Gemini AI, Grok, all the things. So we're going to dive into that today for sure. So I always like to start off with this, and we're going to keep this kind of interactive and going here. So I always like to say the market's not quiet, you're just invisible. Because here's the thing, you can go around your neighborhood. unless you live in some gated HOA community where you're not allowed to put a for sale sign up, how many times you're riding around, there's no for sale signs up? How many times you're going through your neighborhood and there's nothing for sale? There's always something for sale. And so I know in your position, no matter if you're crushing it and hit your goals or not, how many feel like you want more listings? You got to end the year with more listings. Give me a fun emoji in the chat if you're like, I'm ready for more listings. Year's not over yet. You're not giving up. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. Whoops. Let me hit here. How many of you also feel like I just need more inbound calls? Like, yes, you need to make your cold calls. Door knocking's a little tough when everybody has Ring doorbells now, right? But how many of you feel like I just rather people come to me at this point than me going to them? I know it's a part of the game, guys, but it's also fun to get more calls. How many of you wish people found you on Google and AI searches? Like consistently getting calls of being like, hey, I searched on ChatGPT and you were the only one that kept coming up no matter what question I ask. How many of you guys want that feeling? Because it's totally realistic. Okay, awesome, awesome. So every agent we know wants visibility, but few actually achieve it. We're going to talk about that today. All right, let's understand first. Google is still today's digital curb appeal. All right, I want to be very clear that yes, AI is here, but we are not ignoring your organic traditional SEO. And Google is still king. Like if you think about it, Google is freaking smart. You got Google Business Profile, you got Google Local Services, you got pay-per-click ads, you got Gemini AI, and just you're organically coming up with sites. They got it covered, right? So yes, ChatGPT and yes, Perplexity is on the rise, but Google always is right now staying ahead of it, right? So when someone searches best realtor in, the first few names are all that matter. Okay. Now, fun fact, in the last 30 days in Dallas, Texas area, you know that there was over 2,500 searches for best real estate agent in the last 30 days alone. So when people are like, oh, it's a slow market or not many people are going to want to list around the holidays, we are in holiday time frame already and like in our mindset. And the searches are going up. Right. So being visible, being right there on the top, it's how listings are won, not just with postcards. Notice I said just, I'm not going to knock postcards. I also know that postcards are expensive and it's about consistency, but a page one placement. And if you're not there, very simple, black and white, y'all, someone else is there and someone else is getting your calls. And my favorite, if some of you do a search right now of best realtor near me, how many of you are actually popping up? Don't search your name. Of course, you're going to populate if you search your name, right? I get that all the time. But I search myself. Of course, you search yourself. If you search best realtor near me, and then you cringe because you're like, I don't even know that person that's ranking ahead of me. But guess what? They're the ones getting the phone calls. Whether they can convert, whether they're high in production, they're doing something that you're not just yet. And we're going to fix that. All right. So I'm gonna give you guys an example here. So this is one of my clients. His name's Jeff Costello. He runs a company called Tribeca Northwest. He's in the Seattle area, and he actually uses a Sierra Interactive website. And we are about 2 years in, but I pulled the last year of his stats and analytics. And he's got us on a little bit of a challenge here, y'all. Like we're 35% of his GCI of just Google leads alone this year. And he's on a mission to hit 40% by the end of the year. But hey, I got plenty of time. We got a few weeks ahead of us. So when we first met Jeff, yes, he had a Sierra Interactive website. He had a couple of hundred reviews, but he wasn't being seen everywhere, right? When we did an online audit, we're like, hey, are you taking full advantage of everything that Sierra has to offer? Are you taking full advantage of your Google business profile and local service ads? And the answer was no, right? And I get it, y'all. You guys are real estate agents. Your main focus right now, and it should always be, is loving on your sphere, nurturing your database, and getting to the closing table. That's where you need to be. But you have to realize you have a super powerful tool at your fingertips, especially if you're using Sierra Interactive. I know some of you might not, but if you are, you got a really powerful tool here that you can leverage. Okay. Some of us might feel like, how am I supposed to do this all? AI, organic, social media, and you just feel really thin. And I want you to know that I love to tell our clients, your name is in the middle of a spider web. right? And something that our team does is we clean up that messy spider web in the digital landscape so that way all keywords lead to you. Like the old saying, go like my grandparents used to say, all roads lead to Rome, right? And meanwhile, we were totally lost because Waze did not exist then and in a completely different state that we should have been. But we create that roadmap. Right. So that way, if it's best realtor near me, top realtor, listing agent, or we're putting in a search, I'm looking to relocate to who's the best realtor I should be calling. And sometimes we get caught up of like, oh my gosh, well, ChatGPT is pulling from Fast Expert or they're pulling from Zillow. Do you know that if it's set up properly, that they'll pull from your website as well? And now you're really outbeating the competition. Because if they pull from Zillow and they go to your Zillow page, then they can find another agent's page. We want to keep it all to you. I like to say in this area, we want you to stay as selfish as possible and make it all about you. So at Jeff here, what we did was we went in, massive cleanup. Things like your meta tags and descriptions. When was the last time you checked on that? Some people might be like, I don't even know where to find that. I promise you, if you use Sierra Interactive, it's really easy to find it on the back end. Okay. But some of you might be like, I don't even know what that is. Meta tags, meta descriptions on the back end, and we're going to have to navigate through it. But a lot of times when we're bringing on a new client and they're like, I haven't touched that in 2, 3, 5, 10 years of having my website. And back then it'd be okay to have like the about us page described as about us. But now we need to take that about us page and describe it as Tribeca Northwest top listing agent in Bellevue and Seattle, Washington area with 500 plus Google 5-star reviews. What? Now we got the crawls going. When you get the crawls going, you get things that look like this, which is really awesome. This is just 12 months of data here. Search views for our client between Google My Business, organic, and AI, and even his local services populated over 17,000 times in searches in his area. Pretty wild. Also increased his number of call volume organically. This is not even including paid ads. I ain't even talking about paid ads things. That's a whole other beast. But literally went from the year before of 45 inbound calls to 112. That is big. And these are high intent. These are people that you have to realize people are coming in and they're knowing what they want, right? This is not Zillow of like, oh, that looks like a pretty house. Maybe I'll go to that open house and visit and be nosy. No, these are people that know what they're looking for. And if you've never seen what's called a heat map before, which is what you see with these nice, pretty little dots, okay, that's where we dig deep of how you're actually ranking. So in this particular keyword, realtor, which is a big competitive keyword in his area, literally it's probably like 8,000 searches in the last 30 days. That is massive. The red dots, that's not good. That means we're not showing up. We could be page 2, we could be page 10, we could be page 200 for all we know. But those green dots that say number 1, he's actually ranking number 1 in all of those farming areas. What's
Hey, Kira, is that a year? That's amazing, by the way. Is that a year-over-year comparison we're looking at with those heat maps?
So this heat map, we actually tightened it up because it's a new keyword we went after. So it's
Okay.
from June of this year and then October 9th or October 7th. So
Really?
that is from June to October.
Holy cow, that's a huge change.
Massive. And we're not done yet because that northwestern tip that's red, that's where we're getting super aggressive with right now.
Okay, cool.
And
That's awesome.
holding that because we want to make sure, like, again, it's not just only that one main little town that your brokerage is based out of or your address is around. We want to make sure we're covering all of them,
Right.
every
Cool.
possible area. Yeah. Anybody have any other questions about that too? You can drop it into the chat because like I said, I'm here for you. And although I live in Southwest Florida now, I'm raised from New York City, so I talk fast. Um, here to answer your questions. So I want you guys to realize is that there are options and we have to leverage all the options. And the reason why I say that is if you put a search in, and let's say I did a search of Bellevue, Washington realtor, for instance. Right now, Google Business Profile can come up. Sometimes even local service ads where it says Google Screen comes up. But fun fact is Google shifting the way they're doing their searches. So come like 8, 9 o'clock at night, the maps are turning off and the websites are appearing or Gemini AI are appearing. Why? Because most businesses, or not most, I should say some businesses, as particularly in our industry of real estate, Google knows you're not servicing at 11 o'clock at night. You can keep your hours 24 hours all you want. They know that you're not servicing at 11 o'clock at night, at midnight, right? They know when it comes to things like a local services where it's a paid situation, they don't want to deal with disputes. They don't want to deal with complaints. So the best way to do that is to turn that off, and then they boost Gemini AI. Then they boost organic searches. So that's where your website starts coming up. So that's why I always say all the categories have to be treated evenly and strategically, because when Google decides to go from this to this, you don't want to feel that. Okay. You want to make sure that you're feeling this the whole way through, or if anything like this, you keep rising to the top. All right. The same thing with ChatGPT or even Perplexity. They're always gravitating to different sources to keep you on your toes, right? So ChatGPT, everybody over the summer went on a frenzy and set up things like Fast Expert profiles, right? If you're not familiar with Fast Expert, they connect to Zillow.com, and that's how they'll rank you based off the number of transactions you've closed and the number of reviews you have. But then right now, they're pulling from Homelight because Homelight connects with US News. And come March is going to be real trends because that's when they roll out their 2025 data. Right. So wanting to place it all. Now, if you're ranked in any of those categories on Fast Expert, US News, Homelight, or any kind of best of in your area, please leverage that and blast it everywhere on your website because it's only going to help you even further.
Now, Kira, when you say blast it all over your website, you mean adding it into the content that you're building on your website, kind of boasting that you are ranked with these different website with these different organizations.
I would be putting it on a blog post for sure.
Okay.
And then I would even be putting it on like H1, like your header one,
Okay.
right?
Gotcha.
And that's a little harder because if you have like crazy amount of awards, etc., you'll have to condense it and pick what's best. So something like 5-star rated Bellevue real estate team, something along those lines,
Right.
right?
Keep it a little more generic.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
then underneath, and then in your about us section, hyperlink all of those awards.
Super cool. Okay, cool.
Right? Because that's
Gotcha.
also going to help drive more traffic. Okay.
Awesome. Great suggestion.
Perfect. And I accidentally hit the chat and I'm going to close it out. You're gonna let me know when anybody else asks
I got
questions.
it covered. No problem.
Okay. So let's talk about this. This is really fun. This is where I geek out, and this is what's really important to understand. This is a consumer behavior pattern, right? We oftentimes we'll send out postcard mailers, for instance, right? And you have 123 Main Street that's sold, and you're like, oh my gosh, it's sold 7 days on the market, 20,000 above asking price. Somebody else is going to want to buy and be the next success story. So I'm going to blast this to the radius. Yet we're hitting up people that are unaware they have a problem. They're not ready to move. They're not even thinking about it, right? We've got our fingers crossed on that strategy that one postcard hopefully is going to convert to something, and all of a sudden you're hitting postcard after postcard, but they have no desire to move, right? Like, I'll be honest, I get postcards all the time. My marketing hat will analyze them, but my consumer hat is chucking them because, well, I plan to retire in my house, right? And then you have this section of problem aware where they're starting to think about it and they're looking and skimming on Zillow and they're flip flopping. Maybe they've had a conversation with you and they're like, oh, 3, 5 years down the line, maybe we'll move. And you're like, well, this is a waste of my time. All right. Or you're even doing your cold calling. You're like, oh, they've been in their house for 20 plus years. They're probably ready to downsize. Let me have the conversation. And they're not there yet. And then you have solution aware, where they're like, okay, we're in the school year. The twins are going to graduate in May. Let's put the house on the market in the spring. And they're getting closer. But the best phase of consumers is product aware because that's when they're like, okay, I have to make a move. I'm ready to invest right now. Oh my gosh, my job is relocating me. And they're the ones going on to Google. They're the ones going on to, believe it or not, there's still people that are searching on like Yahoo and AOL.com. We see massive call volume for downsizers
Wow.
on that platform.
For downsizers, that makes sense, right? They may be a little bit higher vintage than some other people. So That makes
Absolutely, it's
sense. Yeah.
comfort, right? If you
Right.
talk to
Right.
somebody that's like 60, 65 plus years old, and not everyone,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying on average, they're not comfortable yet with AI,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So
Makes sense.
don't miss an entire demographic because of what you think the trend is right now. Yes, we can get excited about the numbers. Oh my gosh, AI is up, AI search is up 468% or times, whatever it is. And you're like, I got to go there. And then we abandon ship here.
Right.
We don't want to do
Right.
that. Right. And product aware is, like I said, those are the high intentional. Those are the ones that, like, we hear the calls that come in, and we will hear, you're the only agent that continuously comes up. Every time I search, you're the one that's there. We even
Hmm.
had a really cool scenario where there was a woman who was older looking to downsize, probably 80 plus year old woman. And she searched on Yahoo and talked to her daughter to help her. And her daughter was in a completely different state, and the daughter used Google. And then the grandson was like, oh no, like, I'm going to double check this too. And he used ChatGPT. And it all came up with the same exact agent, which ended
Really?
up being our
That's super
client.
cool. That's awesome.
Right. So we're connecting the dots. So the opportunity is there. So rather than feeling intimidated or feeling like you have to make a choice, you don't have to make a choice. Like, I love to say, like, let ChatGPT and Gemini AI duke it out all they want. Our job and your job as, as an agent, take advantage of every platform, right? Let them figure out how they want to outdo one another. We need to know how to leverage it. What are the ways to leverage it? Making sure our website is up to date, making
Hmm.
sure that we're constantly having reviews in place. All right, reviews matter. Making sure that the reviews are even posted on the website, not as an image. Not as an image. That's really important, because if it's an image, they can't crawl it. Okay. And I'll actually, you know what? I'm gonna come out of my presentation mode here real quick, and I'm gonna actually share Rebecca's. So something like this, you see my screen where it says client reviews?
Yep.
Right. Something like this, where this is a carousel, we actually have um, created a widget that is adaptable to especially Sierra websites, which makes it really
Hmm.
cool and easy for us to copy and paste without screwing up any layouts. Right. Just plug and play here, where anytime a client gets a 5-star review on Google, within 15 minutes, it updates to the website.
That's cool.
Nobody
That's
has to
really
do
cool.
guesswork.
Yeah.
Right? Because the reality of it is when you get busy, what happens? We forget to update this kind of stuff, right? Your
Hmm.
VA gets bombarded, right? Your marketing coordinator is making your million social media posts, and then 7 months later, you're like, oh shoot, when was the last time I actually updated my reviews? So this is almost like your IDX, right? Like Google likes
Right.
the constant feed of the IDX. Now this is the organic feed, and now you're just like, honestly, you're like kissing Google's butt, and they love it, right? Brownie points. Who likes brownie points? I do. So this is actually something that's also like really important to have. And then, like I said beforehand as well, connecting your website to be a part of as many highly ranked, I'm going to choose my words wisely here, as many highly ranked, what they'll call directory pages. So if you have a Zillow page, make sure that Zillow page is driving traffic to your website. Whether you like Zillow or not, take your personal preferences out of it. They're very strong in the internet space. You got
Yeah.
to take advantage of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right. Fast Expert, same thing. Homelight, same thing. Houzz.com, HOUZZ.com. That's another site that's like coming up really heavy. Okay. And the list can go on and on and on. Honestly, I say we work with 60 directory sites,
Wow.
and we take them based off how highly reputable they are.
And you're
Okay.
suggesting putting an agent, having a profile on whatever site it is and having their domain name as
Mhm.
part of their profile.
Yes.
Right. Gotcha. And a lot of those sites that you mentioned, we actually have direct integrations with. So if leads come in through those sites, they're gonna feed right into Sierra, so you can then take action off them and manage them there as well. So that's like it's like a great a great relationship.
Always like to look at it as how many feeder systems as
Yeah.
possible into your CRM and into your site.
Sure, sure. So, but it's important to point out it's not just setting up the integration in Sierra, it's making sure your profile on those third-party sites are dialed in so your website is there and it's visible and they can drive traffic back to your Sierra website. So, very cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And one big thing too, actually, now that you say that, it's all about consistency, right? And what do I mean by that? So recently there was, I'll say a trend or buzz that was like, oh my gosh, I have to update my bio, and my bio should talk about, how many properties I've closed and year to date and lifetime transactions and how many awards and how many reviews. And that was all great and dandy. And we saw people starting to do it, and they're like, I did this, but I didn't do anything. Well, I didn't do anything because we did our bio on our website only. We need to take that same bio, shorten it because you're limited on characters, and do the same thing on Google Business and do the same thing on all of those directory sites,
Gotcha.
right? To keep it refreshed and up to date. Because if not, you're sending mixed messaging. If you're telling your website, like you sold 150 homes this year, but you haven't updated your Zillow bio, and that's saying in the bio itself, forget about the transaction, the bio saying you've closed 10 transactions year to date. When Google and AI is doing these search crawls, there's that disconnect. They don't want to do the work to figure it out for you. Poof, you're gone.
Uh, wow. Okay.
Consistency writing.
It's an easy thing to do. I mean, it's basically just grunt work, right? But it sounds like a super important step.
Super important as far as the details go,
Yeah.
especially because month over month, your numbers are going to change if you're constantly closing, right?
Right.
And then to
Right.
remember it at the end of the year to recap the beginning of the year.
Yeah, yeah. Now, and Kira, I know you've got a lot more information to give us, and you're gonna talk a little bit about the service that you guys offer, which I want to hear about. I mean, this is like a key thing where it's sort of busy work that floats out there that 9 times out of 10 the agents are gonna forget about, right? Like, is this something that your team keeps up with and either reminds them or does it for them or something like that to keep it to make sure it gets done?
So we actually do it for the agents. We actually have
Okay, even better.
like specialists on our team who will actually monitor like the how the domains are even ranking. So when we see something on the rise, we just add it on the list, add it on the list. Like the beginning of the year, we started with 20 reputable citations and directories. We're at 60. We're
Meaning
probably
those third part when you say that, that's those third party sites.
third party sites. So like a
Okay.
Yelp, whether you
Yeah.
like Yelp or not, I personally don't like it, guys, but Google and AI like
Yeah, if
it.
it
So we gotta
ranks,
suck it
like,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. So our team will set it up, even create a username and password for the agent,
Wow.
and then we
Okay.
share like a password sheet.
So if I heard you correctly, your team is monitoring the activity on those third party sites, determining which ones are performing the best and making sure your clients have visibility on those sites.
Yes, even
Oh, wow.
furthermore,
Okay.
we're going into their back end of their websites to make sure
Uh-huh.
everything's connected properly and updated for SEO, keywords, phrases,
That's awesome.
tags, etc. And then taking it a step further, we're writing all the blog content that we
Wow.
know is feeding into ChatGPT and answering those questions.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Cool.
All
Cool.
right.
That's great. Well, yeah, let's keep on keeping on.
We'll keep on keeping on. So we always like to say, okay, why do agents struggle with Google and AI? It's not because you're not good, right? But it's because honestly, the algorithm changes constantly,
Okay.
right? So here's a fun fact. If you use Google Business Profile and you take advantage of the area that's called Q&A, question and answer, right? You write a question like somebody's curious about living in the area and you reply back and you're like, look at me, I'm responding back like something super knowledgeable and fun and awesome. Yeah, come Monday, November 3rd, Google's doing away with the Q&A section. Doesn't that feel like a moment of defeat? Like you're like, man, I spent all these hours and time of like creating these questions and answers. So
Totally.
I'll be honest with you. But here's a flip side. We know that AI is a place where people are asking questions, right? And getting the answer. So honestly, what we did as a team is we created a widget, just like I showed you with the reviews. We
Hmm.
created an FAQ widget that we're actually putting on all of our clients' websites next week to replace the lack of Q&A on Google Business Profile.
That's awesome. So you'll still get the benefit of the FAQs, even though it's going away on Google.
Even though it's going away on Google,
That's
exactly.
super
But this
cool.
way, we answer the questions on AI. So it's things like this, the algorithm changing, and things like Google and AI. They don't come out with a press release, y'all, of like, here's the changes we're
Right,
making.
right, right. And that's the thing that overwhelmed me when I was out there changing my Google business profile, things like that. It's like, to your point, you hear somebody like yourself, you get it, you think you get it dialed in, and a month later, it's completely different, or a week later, it's completely different.
Way
It's
different,
crazy.
right? The amount of suspensions and re-verifications that we've
Ugh,
had people come to us to, like, not that we did it, like they were like, can you fix this?
right.
It's just, I would say it's probably triple the amount than we've ever had in all
Wow.
our years of existence, because
Wow.
you feel like you're walking on eggshells, right? Because
It's
you
because
don't
the,
know.
the rules keep changing, but nobody's letting you know that the rules are changing, basically.
We actually,
Crazy.
but fun fact. So I absolutely love reading. I read a book a week. Unfortunately, Google Handbook or Google Rules is now a part of my weekly reading. And we actually, as a team, we print it out. And so one week we'll be like, okay, that's the same number of pages as last week, right? There was 90 pages in the rule book last week. And then 2 weeks later, we're like, wait a minute, there's 2 extra pages,
Oh
but
my
they
gosh.
don't add it to the end of it. So we're literally like, okay, page one had these headlines. Okay, page 10 in the middle of it. Oh,
Uh,
that's the new rule. And then we're applying it.
Sounds to me like you need to build a GPT that's going to do that automatically for you, but that's a
Just around
conversation for
that.
another day.
Exactly. I need to streamline that a little better. But
Holy moly.
the other reason is too is like we don't know which tactics actually matter, right? So we hear things like, do I set my hours at 24 hours or do I keep it, set for my actual office hours? Do I
Yeah.
set my holiday hours? Do I not? In fact, did you know that in Google, another rule that they're just changing is under the product section? As a real estate agent, you no longer can list properties in the product section. So if you guys have properties, delete those like today because you will get suspended.
Like specific properties you're talking about, or just the word
Yes.
properties?
Nope.
Specific
In it, there's
properties.
a product section in Google Business Profile.
Yep.
If you have
Yep.
properties listed on there, suspensions will happen out of it. Why? Because Google wants that section to be utilized like, buy this pen now. You can't buy a house now online like that.
Right.
Right? You're not putting a credit card in. I mean, if a house is $500, yeah, maybe a different story. But most part, I
Right.
don't think
Right.
anybody has a housing market with $500 homes. So um, again, it's a section that weighs heavily though. How do you do it? What we ended up doing is doing downloadable guides, connecting it to the website. Now we're driving traffic to the website. We're keeping
Hmm.
clearance. Here's your free. Oh, it's a selling section, but they're offering for free as a product. Now we win. So it's knowing
Gotcha.
how to go
That's
around.
super creative. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Oftentimes as well, I find this a lot. A lot of agents will try to DIY it. Look, guys,
Totally.
let's be honest. It's time consuming.
Yeah.
You're going to be inconsistent, and then you're going to be frustrated. Which part of it matters most to you? Do you guys want to close
Yeah.
more deals, or do you want to feel like you're a hamster on a wheel trying to figure out the next best thing that Google and AI wants? By the time you implement it, execute it, it's old. Even worse, you're suspended, and next thing you know, you're checking out of the industry. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm really honest. So the $5 VA solution doesn't really work here anymore, guys. Okay. Let them post on your social media and do that part, but I would not trust a $5 VA to handle your Google. It's a strategy. It's no longer just a simple plug and play,
Yeah.
especially in these competitive markets that we're in. All right. Sorry if I hurt anybody's feelings. I'm honest. That's it. So why does this matter? When you struggle with visibility, you're going to struggle with momentum, right? We know that everyone is searching something, somehow, some way online. If you're not there, well, that pains me, but you are literally handing over your dollars and you're not even collecting a referral fee. So that makes it even worse, right? So every day that you are not there up on the top, look, I'm not saying just because you're number one in your market and if there's 2,800 people searching in that, you're going to get all 2,800 calls. I'm not saying that, but you're going to get majority. You're going to get a layup. You're going to be seen and found and heard much more. And then when people make that decision, the trust, like, and no factor is there because everybody trusts Google. When was the last time you put a search into Google and you're like, no, Google, try again? Something
That's a
else.
lie. Right.
It's exactly how they're choosing their real
Yeah.
estate agents. And
Yeah.
here's the thing, too, right? If you're not found online, we've had this happen. We've had agents come to us and they're like, I lost a referral before. What do you mean you lost a referral? Like, that's a layup, right? How do you lose a referral? Well, when I went for the listing appointment and then they went online, they couldn't find me. If I can't find you as an agent online, how am I supposed to trust you that you're going to
Yeah,
position and market my house online? There's that
that's a great
level of
point.
authority, right? When you lose your momentum, you start to doubt yourself. We can't doubt ourselves right now. We are at the home stretch at the end of the year. And I will tell you, those that pedal to the metal from here to the end of the year with their online strategic plan, in the next year, they see a massive uptick. We had a client literally in Dallas, Texas, started September of last year. I'll never forget it. January 2nd, he's like, when's the momentum coming? I'm like, hey, we got our ranking. Hang tight. However you felt about it, presidential inauguration happened. I said right after that, I promise you, you're going to see a major uptick. From February till now, averaging 5 to 8 calls a day, has closed 31 transactions just from Google leads alone,
Wow.
right?
Wow. That's super
So
impressive.
no doubting ourselves, just pedal to the metal, online visibility. It takes time, y'all. This is not like pay per click where you just throw money at it. Google, bring me to the top, right? Organic takes time, but there's ways to shortcut it with the right strategy in place,
Hmm. Hmm.
right? We know that visibility fuels results and results drive retention. Okay, we want retention
Awesome.
in your business. All right, want to also highlight here kind of what I said before. Google and AI wants to get the absolute best result for the end user in the fastest amount of time. So this is where it's really important. I'm going to back up Sierra Interactive like from the moon and back right now. If you have a site that is slow, you're getting hit negatively, right? They're not going to pull your site up because people don't have patience. Thanks, Amazon. I could order something and it's going to be at my doorstep by the time I wake up tomorrow morning, right? Everyone wants things right now. They want the answers to their problems right now. And I will tell you, with the amount of agents we work with, and some work with different websites, and that speed score for a website is low. It is brutal. They have high bounce rates, and then they're like, my website's not working for me. I get no leads. Well, like, no, of course it's not going to work because the speed is slow. People bounce
Yeah.
out, and Google's not going to push that. I will tell you, out of all of our website audits we've done, the speed score with Sierra Interactive sites, 99 out of 100. Damn near perfect.
Go Sierra.
Go Sierra. Thanks for making our lives easier too. So it's like a double whammy, like extra, like this is just like extra volume of results. So she's like,
Right.
awesome, right? So that is their main objective, right? And again, here's the thing: it is Google and AI's world. We just live in it, y'all. We got to play by their rules, right? Don't try to be fancy. Don't try to outsmart them. You're not outsmarting anybody in any of this. All right. I know everybody went on the bandwagon a few weeks ago or even this past summer, like, let me create a Reddit conversation about myself. And then I'm going to create a bunch of fake profiles to boost myself on Reddit. And now you got Reddit and Perplexity going into a lawsuit. Yeah, you don't want to be a part of that. Right. Try to make those shortcuts. And now it's going to hurt you in the long run because Reddit's taking all those down. All right, I'm getting off my soapbox there. Sorry, I digress. I get really excited, guys, about this stuff. I'm sorry. I see a question here. Does this system work when you're on your brokerage's websites? I love this question. Okay, here's why I love this question so much. I know you guys love your brokerages, and that's why you're with them. But you need your own website, because your brokerage basically owns those clicks, owns those visitors. So if your brokerage is doing any kind of retargeting ads and that lead clicked on it, the brokerage is promoting themselves. They're not promoting you. Okay. Really important. Your brokerage site is going to promote themselves, not you. And I don't know how brokerages disperse leads. I know they all like use that as like their marketing hook, right? Like, I'm going to give you some leads. And then the leads are like 20 years old. Um, right. And I know sometimes people are like, well, like it's a part of the marketing plan with the brokerage. When you have a brokerage site, you have also other limitations. Like you can't do things like the review widget that I showed. We couldn't embed that because we're going to be blocked. Your things like how to do your SEO, we're going to be blocked. It's focused on the brokerage. So I always highly recommend have your own website, because as well, if you decide to leave your brokerage for whatever reason, it's easy on your website just to switch a logo instead of starting from scratch. All right. I hope that was helpful. Is this being recorded? Okay, cool. I think I caught up. All right. Um, so as I was saying beforehand, knowing how people act on Google and even AI, it's the hottest leads with the shortest sales cycle. They've already made their decision. Don't skip out on it. I promise you. Okay. And the more you try to search yourself, the more AI is going to lead you to believe that you're ranking. So don't search yourself. Okay. Have you ever noticed if you put something in AI, right? I was actually just having this conversation with my husband because he was like getting really excited on this whole like AI conversation. And I'm like, you're talking to a robot, right? And so he's going and going. And he was like, how about this idea? Right. And ChatGPT is like, that's a great idea. And then keeps it going, right? Like there's this like psychology behind it to keep you suckered in. So you're like, how can I get found on something like you, ChatGPT? And they give you this like list. Y'all, they're going to give everybody that list. If everybody's doing that same exact list, everybody be ranking on the top. They're going to keep you on your toes to keep coming back for more. Well, ChatGPT, that part didn't work. What else do you got? And they'll respond back, you're right, that didn't work. Maybe try this, right? Don't go spinning your wheels trying to figure it out yourself is all I'm trying to say here, guys. Okay. Um, Honestly, if you don't take Google seriously, someone in your market will. Okay, it's really important. And if anybody wants to throw themselves right now, I'm gonna spend 5 minutes. Anybody wants to throw themselves right now in the hot seat, I will do a live audit for you right now. You pick my
Ooh.
brain. I am here for it.
See if anybody's brave enough to put their website. Oh,
Oh, I love it. Okay, Ladina
Build
Strand.
Idaho.
Oh, Build Idaho. Sorry. Okay,
Build Idaho
Build,
wins.
Build Idaho wins. Okay, Build Idaho. Is that the
This is going to be interesting because I know these guys and I know what they do with their website. So it's going to be
okay,
really
okay.
interesting.
All right, hold on. Oh, thank you for putting Build Idaho on here. Whoop, there we go. Hang tight. I'm gonna share screen. Whoops, hang tight, hang tight. I see a green dot on the top of my screen, so you guys are still here. All right, there we go. Okay, Build Idaho. All right, I love on here. You got a lead capture right off the bat. That is awesome. Imagining more. Find your life in Idaho. Okay, I just came here and I don't know what you're offering me. If I wasn't on a real estate webinar, I would not know that you're offering real estate services. Okay. So this needs to be swapped out because this imagining more, that's what we call an H1, right? Our header one. That is highly searchable. If I copy and paste imagining more question mark in Google right now, I don't think your website's going to come up. Right? We want to take advantage of every possible thing. Find your life in Idaho. Idaho is a pretty big state. Do you cover the entire state of Idaho? Do you cover a portion of it? Do you want to focus on a portion and then some? We got to highlight that here too. Okay. I love you got a review widget in there. That's awesome. You're speaking my language. Got our housing markets. We
This is
got
a
golf.
customized Sierra site, by the way. So that's why I know these guys. They are a client,
I
but
was gonna say
their site's been customized. Yeah.
this one looks a little bit more fancy than some of the ones
Yeah,
I've
it is
seen.
fancy. Yep. Yep.
Just check it out here on the footer here. All right, I like the hyperlink to the Google reviews. We got all of these here, here. Okay, cool. That looks good. All right, so where in Idaho are we? Oh, there we go, there we go. Here we go, Meriden, Idaho. All right, now the fun. Okay. This part right here, guys, this where it says sponsored, just so you know, fun fact, someone like Chris or agents with small real estate team or sweet group realty, they don't pay to be there on top. That's what we call local services ads. So you pay per qualified lead. Talk about winning, right? If I'm like, hey, I'm looking to rent 123 Main Street, not qualified. Hey, I'm looking to sell 123 Main Street, qualified, you pay for that lead. So I don't know if you have a profile set up or not, but I'm not seeing it come up right here on the tippy top. Just so you know, when I scroll down to here, you're going to miss out on this ranking because you don't have this set up. Okay, you're going to miss out on your map ranking because local services is not set up. Fun fact, a year ago in November, that's when Google made the rule. If you only have one and not this one, you're lost in cyberspace. That heat map that was all in the red, that's what you're going to look like. All right. Because if you think about it on a business standpoint, this is where you get free leads through Google, right? This is where they get paid something. Business model. Somebody's got to win, right? Okay. And then here. So, all right. We're getting to the bottom of page 1. We need to get you guys right through here. All right. And this is possible, but if I go back over here and let's go to here, title tag. Nope. So instead of on the top where we have, I'm totally going to butcher this. I always do. Boise. Did I say it right? Boise real estate.
Yeah.
Right. So we got in the title tag Boise real estate, but on the bottom, I've got a location of Meriden, Idaho. Right. So I've got mixed messaging right there. So we got to tighten that up. Okay. And then instead of homes for sale in, we already said Boise real estate. So I put Boise, comma, ID real estate, and then something that's talking about how you're a top ranked or 5-star review, something along those lines, because that speaks to the crawls and the searches as well. Okay. I don't know if they have questions because I'm just going without looking at the screen there. View page source. And then here's my little cheat sheet. Okay. Oops.
That looks fun.
Isn't it? It's like a fun scientific code
gosh.
here. Hold on. Bringing it back. Oh, I clicked on it too quick. Hold on. Let me do it again. Nobody get scared. It's okay. We're in this together. Description.
And while you're doing that, somebody asked in the Q&A about SEO keywords and scripts. We're going to go ahead and send it, since we've got some information we'll send out to you with the recording of the video of this webinar as well.
Awesome. Okay. This is our back end called like where it says description, and it's really easy to find on the Sierra platform. Search homes for sale in listings include large photos, virtual tours, Google Maps, and Street View, local school info, and more. Think about if I'm a seller or a buyer, how am I searching? I'm not searching for realtor with large photos, right? So we need to switch this. That once again is going to highlight your number of reviews, highly ranked in, etc. So we need to twist this around. It's really simple and easy. Take some stuff from your bio, keep it condensed in 1-sentence format, and boom, we should start getting some much more organic visibility. Let's bring it back here. Build Idaho. Let's go over to. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? You have 230 Google reviews. If you do not have local services, stop, drop, and roll. Get that set up. Whoa. I was not expecting that. Sorry. I get really excited about this stuff, but I'm like, huge missed opportunity. 230 reviews. You know how much like damage you could do to your competition right now? I didn't know that going off your site, right? I did your back end. We got to plug in top. If you want to do, I would say Meriden, just because that's where everything is right now. 230 plus. I always do plus so that we don't have to manually change it every single time on the back end, right? 230 plus Google reviews and counting. I don't even know if you have Zillow reviews, but that number I'm going to assume yes. Okay. Build Idaho. Okay. Search homes for sale, locate new subdivisions, research home builders. Very, very generic. So if you guys are specialists in subdivisions or working with builders, we need to clean that and tighten that up way better to be much more searchable for you guys. I love, and I get like when we say things like our number one priority is like a mission statement, we got to give the stats and the facts, right? How many years you guys have been in the business for, how many lifetime transactions, how many team members, etc. Like, because that's what people are looking for. When you got to realize, like, if I'm on this page right now, just like we all are, we're like, content, 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 content. But if I see like someone sold 100 homes, they've got 200 reviews to back them up, right? The numbers, I'm going to gravitate over a bunch of words all over a page. And let's take a quick view here. View all. Recent photo of 2 brand new homes. We are marketing in Legacy Subdivision. Now, I'm sure you have beautiful homes of Legacy Subdivision, but as a consumer, I have no idea why I should even take a look at this. right? And why, what hints am I giving to Google or even AI to pull this up? Now, if legacy subdivision is up and coming and it's thriving for people who are relocating or downsizing or whatever those benefits are, and why you are the real estate agent that they need to go with to check this out, needs to be paraphrased in here, because this does this. I could copy and paste this right now in Google, and this is not going to bring me to you guys as well, right? You have a lot of reviews. You guys clearly have a lot of experience in your area. We just need to back that up. But here's what's killing me. Your last post was July 29th. Tomorrow's October 31st. You just told Google in your way, I don't need more business. We need to feed the system. Our team, we post 25, anywhere between 25 to 40 posts per month for our clients. And that's a range because it's based off as well with like new listings and open houses. But at minimum, let's say you had no new listings for a month for whatever reason, then it's 25 to 30 posts. We post 5 days a week for our clients because we're going to feed the system of Google and AI. All right. I can keep going, but I
That
don't
was
want to.
awesome. No, that was super. That was great because it was super tactical, right? So hopefully the client appreciate that because there's some. First of all, you know me, I'm a Northeaster too, so I love I love the direct attitude. It's like, hey, this is what it is, right? Like you're it out, right? Like at the end of the day.
It's why we get
Um,
along so well.
yeah, totally. That's great. That's great. I hope everybody enjoyed that. So Kira, I know
Yeah.
we're coming to the end of time. What I'd like to hear a little bit about is what does your engagements typically look like with clients? I mean, you mentioned gave us some teasers around 25 to 40 posts a month and things like that. What are some of the normal engagements you would work on? Like a client
Yes.
comes
So
to you and says, like, dude, I just saw you on the webinar. I don't do any of this stuff, or I do some of this stuff, or I'm doing it, but I suck at it. What does that conversation look
yeah, love it. So we, again, because I was a real estate agent, I know what you guys are walking through, right? And I could sit here and be like, hey, I'm going to give you this like downloadable guide. You ain't doing it, right? And if so, by the time you do it, it's going to be outdated. So our team really takes everything on for you. We like to say it's like 95% done for you. And what do I mean by that? What's your 5%? Your 5% is that you're always going to ask for reviews. I strongly believe that that needs to genuinely come from you. But our team will come up with strategies in case you come up to some roadblocks, right? So for
like?
instance, next month coming up, with November and December, historically slowest time of the year to get reviews. Everybody's totally, checked out and doing their
Right?
thing. We actually create a holiday review campaign for our clients to execute and implement. And we actually see the highest number of reviews at the end of the year because we have it completely laid out that
That's
you
awesome.
don't even have to plug and play. We put your branding, we put your QR code for this, we tell you how to do it. You just want to do it. But overall, what are we doing? Like I said, on your website, we're creating and crafting your blog posts. We're checking out and making sure you're up to date with your SEO keywords and phrases, your meta tags and descriptions. If we're running into, let's say, you might even have a broken URL, maybe it's a URL you no longer use. We want to make sure that's turned off, right? Little things like that. We're working with
Hmm.
your citations, creating all of your profiles there. We're also tracking the calls that are coming in because it's not a perfect system, right? We know there's no lead gen out there that's always going to give you your ideal client. But what we do know is how to rank leads coming in through Google and tell Google, hey, this was awesome. We need more of this. This stunk. We need a heck of a lot less than this, right?
Awesome.
We're putting
That's
that
cool.
strategy together. We want to make sure that you, as an agent, you're not just your typical real estate agent, right? I'll never forget my son when he started school when we were living in Jersey, and a woman asked me, oh, what do you do? And I said, oh, I'm a real estate agent. She was like, well, there's 20 kids in the class and there's 18 moms that are real estate agents. I guess you're number 4. And that moment was like,
It's true. Yeah.
shoot, I should never
Yeah.
introduce myself as a real estate agent,
Yeah.
right? Or do you specialize in reload? Do you specialize in probate? Do you specialize in short sales, right? What are those specialty offerings? And then we dig down to the strategy. Who's searching for that when, where, and how? And that's how we put together your content. That's how we put together, like I said, all of your SEO keywords and phrases. That's how we make a splash in those heat maps to take you from, like we showed you from Jeff, from here to there and keep going to that next level. And as a team, we're always evolving. Earlier this year, AI was like this whisper, like, is it going to last? I don't know. TikTok came and went. came back, it might go, right? We now know like Chat GPT and all those are here to stay. We've pivoted. And that's one of the things our team does. We're constantly pivoting and letting you know how we're handling it and taking
Cool,
care of it for you.
cool, cool. And somebody asked, what's your billing structure? What's your billing structure? How do you
Yeah.
charge? Is it monthly?
So
Is it quarterly? Is it annually? What does that
we
look
do
like?
monthly, we do a minimum
Okay.
6 month commitment.
Okay.
Um, and honestly, our
Which, I
packages
mean,
can,
that makes sense because like there's no way you're producing results in weeks or even a month, right? Like this is you got to commit to this in order to see any type of results. So, I mean, 6 months makes total sense.
we've had clients with us from the beginning of time.
Yeah,
And every year, like they'll say it like, I don't know how you guys keep outbeating the previous year, the previous year, the previous year, because
that's
it's
awesome.
compounding. And then we've had times, I'll be honest, we've had times where clients are like kind of impatient and they've left
Sure,
and they've come
sure.
back and they're like,
Yep.
biggest regret was leaving. Right? So, depending on where you're at, right? Like,
Mhm.
for instance, I'll be honest with you, if you're a newer agent, like less than 5 years in the market, it becomes really challenging, right? Because there's usually not a lot of um, foundational work that's already been done on the Google front, right? And so that something like that is going to end up being more pricey because there's a lot more that we have to put together.
Okay,
But we found
gotcha.
that there's agents or bigger or teams that have been in the business for 5 years or more where they already have things like, I don't know how long Built Idaho, but I'm going to use them as an example, how long they've been in the business for, but it's clear they've been in the business for a bit. With that number of reviews, like
Yeah,
that's I won't say easier fix, but we got the
right,
foundation. So,
right, right, right. That
but
makes
what I
sense.
would say is if you are interested in learning more how we can do this for you, because I don't believe in cookie cutter approach, right? So we customize everything that we do based on your market and who you are. You could scan that QR code and we're happy to do a full deep dive on you and what that plan looks like for you. Okay. And what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to throw a little thank you to all of you guys for being here. If you go ahead and schedule time with me and you're like, yep, let's do this, we're gonna take 50% off your setup fee. Okay. So
Wow,
50% off your
cool.
setup fee. All right. But I don't want anybody dragging their feet. I want you guys to like hit this going. So that setup fee is only gonna be good till next Friday, November 7th. All right. So
Oof.
no more
Get
thinking.
on it.
Let's do.
Get on it. That's awesome. That's super generous. We appreciate that. We appreciate that, Kira.
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead and scan that. And then for whatever reason, guys, on the calendar, you're like, okay, none of those times work. My email is in that booking link as well. Shoot me an email. We'll find a way. I know sometimes with like West Coast versus East Coast, I'll make myself accessible and available.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, this has been great. I mean, like drinking from a fire hose, great information, a ton of information in a very short period of time. So, Kira, we greatly appreciate you being here. We appreciate your partnership. We did not pay her, by the way, to plug Sierra, but she does do a lot of work with Sierra clients. They're very familiar with the platform. So if you're interested, if you're not a Sierra client yet and you are interested in seeing more about the platform, we're going to go ahead and include a link in the email that we send you with the recording on how to set up a demo. Um, and
Seeing some
Kira,
messages that there's a little bit of a glitch for some reason.
yeah,
So, Scott, I'll send you another link for whatever reason. Uh,
perfect.
but right now, guys, I did put my email. So if you guys just click on my email and directly email
Yep,
me, I'm happy to send you that too. But Scott, I'll send you that and I'll
perfect. We'll include that in
that's
that in this
for
in the
all.
follow-up email as well. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Kira. Thank you everybody for joining us today. We hope you got as much information as possible out of this. Check out Visible Agent, check out Sierra Interactive. Enjoy the rest of the week, no matter what your weather is, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.